everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm an angel therapy practitioner, intuitive astrologer, empowerment coach, and Reiki master. And I'm here today, Tuesday, July 27th, 2021, with this week's Pick an Angel card reading. These readings are designed to help you connect with your intuition, to give you an opportunity to connect with your guides and your angels, and to ask a question of your choice and allow your intuition to lead you to the reading that will be the most empowering for you to be influential to the outcome of your question. So I'm going to jump right in and start off with angel reading number 1. The first card we have is the Hermit. And this is an overall energy for you for this week. The Hermit is not just about hiding. It's about allowing you to quiet from the everyday activities long enough to be inspired by your own oversoul. And when I say that, I mean the soul has a particular intention for what it wants to create when it incarnates into this human experience. And I feel like when I look at the Hermit and I see this red marking here on his third eye, that it's really about connecting with my base chakra, and not from a fight and flight situation, but from the basis of what my intention was when I incarnated. So let's see what Spirit has to say about that. The first position represents the foundational dynamic, the platform with which we're taking our steps on. So I believe that what this is about is parenting, teaching, and or guiding children. There's the trust card. So I would say that a lot of what this Hermit is asking you to do at this point is to sit back and really ask yourself, what is my belief about my influence over people who are younger than I, or my belief about the potentials of my parenting, or my belief about the potentials of me being happy and my inner child being allowed to play. This is very much, while I want to go to the inner child, I think this is a lot about how we influence others and people who are younger than us, and actually parenting. I never was a parent, but I do have a large group of people, a tribe. So there's a certain amount of parenting and influence that I get to have over others. And the trust idea is that you will have this experience. The trust is that you have your oversoul has contracted for the experience of working with children, teaching, or parenting in some way. And you may not have reached that plateau yet, or you may not see that opportunity yet, or you may be coming to a certain age where you're starting to worry about whether or not that's a viable opportunity for you. Please trust and envision your child choosing you from heaven above. In the opportunity or the obstacle, we have the Death card and we have Archangel Gabriel. This is interesting because Archangel Gabriel is actually the angel who's in charge of ushering those that have left the human experience and are going back into on the other side, is the way I want to put it. Because I also want to offer it this way. She represents communications. And I want to say that this is an opportunity to transform the conversation that you're having about your ability to parent, to teach, to be involved with those that you can have influence over in a positive way. This is your opportunity and or your obstacle, because the self-talk may not be working for you. The Angel's advice is the Serpent and the Patience card. And I think the Patience card is really an opportunity for you to observe your willingness to employ what you have learned in knowing that your emotional body, how you feel about a situation, is really the energetic dynamic with which all action is taken. So when you go back to the Hermit and you give yourself an opportunity to retreat, to rest, to connect with what you really want, and I say that because of this red stripe in the middle of his third eye. So it's about connecting with what your soul has agreed to experience in this lifetime, and you may crave that experience of being connected to a family, to the idea of a group of people who are learning and benefiting and their lives are getting better. Because now it's about your self-talk and about allowing that to transform. Because as you're aware of that, you are a better agent for others in the form of healing and knowledge. And in the final position, we have the butterfly, and we have Seraphina offering you a happy change to your family. And the butterfly is coming out of a dark experience. It's coming out of the death experience, actually, the death of the caterpillar and the beginning of the butterfly. I absolutely think that the primary energy with reading number 1 is about parenting, about becoming a parent, about guiding your children, about motherly and fatherly love of those that are younger than us. And this is where it feels most powerful, is that if you have not experienced that, or if you are starting a path where you want to bring forth a soul, I want you to know that that soul is choosing you as much as you're choosing that experience. So as you open up with the butterfly and give yourself an opportunity to spread your wings, you will see how spirit and the baby, Seraphina has a baby right here. So this is very much about bringing in another soul into this earthly experience, and that this is honestly a very viable avenue for you. So as you open up, not to your age, not to what society tells you, not to the dynamics outside of yourself, but retreat within and say, what did my soul agree to? When I was younger, a lot of people told me I'd make a wonderful mother. And in the back of my mind, I always knew I would not choose that experience in this lifetime. And I'm perfectly reconciled with it. So if you go into your heart and you look and see, have I really agreed not to have that experience? And could I be satisfied? Because the soul always wants to be satisfied. The soul wants to come into this human experience so that it can feel this unknowing that then becomes this knowing, that becomes this inspiration and this power. The powers of the law of attraction and the law of allowing. All right. Let's go on to angel reading number 2. Our card here, our angel card, which is the theme. I say they're all angel cards. This is the theme of what this reading is for angel reading number 2. And we have the medicine guardian here. Be open to healing information. I want to offer this for those of you that picked angel reading number 2. I want you to shift the idea of a healing, because that infers that you're broken, but rather an opportunity for healing to become balance. So if you've experienced a physical challenge, allowing yourself to be open to a variety of information as well as your intuitive knowing. Sometimes we get advice and it seems like it's from a professional or somebody who has a degree, who appears to have more knowledge than we do. And yet there's an intuitive knowing that this feels funky. And I want to offer it this way. Rather than allowing yourself to move forward in an energy that doesn't feel authentic or doesn't feel completely aligned, allow yourself to be guided by the medicine guardian to more information that may come about. You see the cup there, and the cup is an emotional energy. I mean, I say that because the cup, it represents emotions in the tarot deck. It represents joy, love, fulfillment, and it represents the intuitive body. And we see this medical symbol. I can't remember what it's called. I know I should know that. And it's directly inside that cup. So I really want to be open to what my intuitive body is telling me and work in alignment with that to bring me information from and inspiration from the material world. So let's see where we're going with this. The water fairy is also going back to our intuitive body. And Francesca is saying, what do you visualize right now? Focus on that, and negativity will block your progress. I think that this reading is absolutely geared towards the physical body. And I want to offer it this way, because when we're in pain or when we're in a physical challenge, we tend to focus in on that challenge. And it almost becomes a certain momentum. When the pain subsides, when the challenge starts to subside, we inadvertently go looking for where it is to see, is it here, is it gone? And so that energy within itself brings an awareness. So I want to offer this way. Look into your emotional body and ask yourself if you are willing to allow your body to be healed. Am I allowing physical healing in, or am I so focused on the challenge that I'm inadvertently feeding the challenge versus feeding the solution? Because in my opportunity and or my obstacle is the horse and Isaiah. The horse says to delegate authority, accept help from another. But I also think in some ways this is about going in a new direction. And Isaiah is saying it's time to give birth to new ideas and new situations. So as you allow your intuitive body to bring you inspirations. Personally, for me, I was going to an acupuncturist for a while, and the issue at hand, while not extreme, was not becoming balanced. And intuitively, I knew that that acupuncturist could only be as effective as I was willing to look at what I was eating. And as I started to shift myself into eating in a different way, frankly, dairy is not good for me. And the more I work with my intuitive body, the more my body rejects dairy. So what I started to see was more balance coming into my physical body as I was aware of what I was eating. And then the acupuncture complemented that idea. Because in the angel's advice, we have an opportunity for transformation. And again, we're going into your intuitive body to trust that your body knows how to heal you in the first place, because it does. There are trillions of cells within your body that inherently head towards balance. And it is the mind seeking out or looking for problems that tends to feed that, which puts the cells under stress. So now Zana is saying you're protected from all types of harm. And now it's allowing for the transformation to come in. And I want to offer it this way, because for those of you that may be feeling physically challenged in any particular way, it doesn't have to be anything extreme, or maybe it is something that feels extreme. We've been going through a very challenging time with the idea of this pandemic and the things that have been going on. So as you align to thanking spirit and allowing spirit to bring you inspirations, you may start to see that when I eat this food, it affects me this way, and I don't like it. So as I remove that, I start to see my body come back into balance. Because in the final position is Desiree in absolute, Desiree represents conditions being unfavorable, challenges. We see the stormy seas. And there is the bee. The bee is about good luck. It's about victory. It's about my being energy, but it's also about being industrious. And so we know the bee goes from flower to flower and flower and pollinates it. So I believe that what the bee is saying is that for those of you that picked angel reading number 2, it's time to pollinate your body with things that work for it. To pay attention to, it may be easy to grab, pizza, but is that pizza giving you the nutrients that you need? Is it fueling your body, or is it just feeding your body? Because I believe there's a whole legion of people right now that are going to start to pay attention to what is serving their body. And in doing so, rewriting the aging process. I personally am 61 and a half years old. I'll be 62 in October. And if my lineage is any indication, there is a good possibility I'll live to be in my 90s. And I want to feel good. So I have been paying attention to what fuels my body. It doesn't mean I can't enjoy some things. It just means I have to, or I get to look at what makes me feel good. And that gives me an opportunity to have, it lifts my whole attitude. That's the way I want to put it. So For those of you that picked angel reading number 2, this is about your physical body. It's about being open to new information and inspirations. It's about allowing the idea of your emotional body and how you're feeling and the focus on the issue versus the focus and the allowing of the solution to come in. Okay, let's go on to our final reading, number 3. Okay, we have the elder. Move beyond ancestral patterns. Very interesting to me, because whether we realize it or not, each one of us comes in here with a pattern. We are a soul that never dies. And so in living through various experiences, I don't know if there's experiences beyond the human realm, but for now, I'll just focus on that. I believe a benevolent God would never give us one lifetime. So we incarnate to move beyond patterns that don't serve us. We are not trying to avoid challenges, because the soul knows that it's those challenges, it's those moments of unknowing, the moments of fear that actually fuel the exhilaration, the empowerment, and the achievement and the excitement of that achievement. But the challenge is oftentimes we get steered into a direction that doesn't serve us. And that's indicated by our lineage, by our communities, by the ethnicity with which we incarnate in. Each one is a layer on the ring of a tree. So now this is about being aware of a pattern and asking if that pattern is serving your happiness. Because in the foundational position, we have the owl. And the owl represents deception and wisdom. And then Athena, who's saying to lovingly assert yourself. There's good things about our patterns. There's good things about every single ethnicity. There are things that will empower us, and then there's things that are challenging. Our job is to decipher which empowers us, and then to allow, not to try to release the old pattern, but to move beyond it, to be able to recognize the pattern and make a new choice. In the opportunity or the obstacle, Archangel Michael is asking us to have the courage to make the choice that feels loving. So I want to offer it this way. Oftentimes, when we are within families or relationships, patterns develop in interaction. And unfortunately, when things aren't going well, sometimes we want to punish those that hurt us, or we want to say things to them that hurt, so because we've been hurt. But I think Archangel Michael is asking us to really look at, would we respond to that? Or do we respond more to love, to a willingness to assert myself, but have the deciphering whether or not it's going to land in a way that's impactful and powerful, or a way that's destructive and critical? Because in the angel's advice, it's time for you to start to really think about how you're communicating. And if that communication is serving you in a way that you will receive back the energy that you want. Teresa's about other people. It's about worry. And there's the communications card. And I want to offer this because the worry here doesn't feel as prominent to me as this I've been hurt and I'm communicating from a place of hurt. And instead, Archangel Michael is asking you to communicate from a place of love. Let me demonstrate what I think that is. It is not acquiescing my wants and my desires. It isn't disempowering me. It's being able to communicate constructively. So when I'm in an argument, let's say with someone I love, maybe I will say to them, I love you. Let me remind you that I love you. And yet it is this that I want to discuss so we can put it into balance. Or being aware that I'm getting so angry that I'm going to have the wherewithal to walk away from the situation so that I will later communicate more constructively. Because in the final position, Spirit is asking you to come from joy, to be a harborer, a perpetrator of joy. This is where your true power lies. So when you're in conversation with others, when you're in conversations that are challenging with others, or dynamics, or situations, as you lovingly assert yourself, think about how you would want someone to communicate with you and what you respond to. Do you respond to somebody who name calls? Do you respond to somebody who continually brings the past into the future and the present? And if indeed you do not respond to that, then it is your opportunity not to be a perpetrator of that energy. So we have a lot of very liberating energies coming up this next month. We just had a full moon in Aquarius, which is the sign of revolution, liberation, freedom. And we're going to have another full moon August 22nd here, the 23rd, depending upon where you are in the world. So what I'm saying is that there's an opportunity this month with this blue moon, 2 full moons in the same sign in the same 30 days, to truly liberate yourself as you illuminate your participation in your own experience, your co-creation of a situation that you may not find pleasant. And as you choose, rather than looking at the other person's behavior, but choose only to be standing in an energy that serves you so that you're proud of your behavior, you feel good about your communications, we will start to see things shift. And we'll start to see ourselves liberated from old patterns that feel immobile. All right, guys, that's it for me for this week. My name is Teri Hunter. Again, I'm an angel therapy practitioner, intuitive astrologer, empowerment coach, and Reiki master. If you would like to book a reading with me, the information is below in the description. And please like, subscribe, comment. And for those of you that do comment, I'm sorry I have not reached out. I've had Saturn squaring my moon lately, and I've been so busy as well. So I apologize for that, but I do read all your comments and I'm so warmed by the loving things that you say. So thank you so much. I'll be back soon with another exciting installment of Pick an Angel reading. See you soon. Bye-bye.